Barry Allen had never run this fast before. Not in training, not in crisis, not even in those impossible moments when the world was seconds from ending. This was different. His feet struck nothing and everything at once, the ground beneath him breaking apart into ribbons of color, strands of light curling upward like torn silk. His chest burned, lungs pulling air he wasn't sure was real. The speed force wrapped around him like a storm that couldn't decide if it wanted to protect him or devour him. He told himself to slow down, just for a second, but something deeper, almost primal, whispered louder, faster, faster, until the known universe was only a memory. He clenched his teeth, eyes narrowing at the horizon that wasn't a horizon at all. Space twisted ahead like a tunnel collapsing inward, pulling him toward it. Every step carried him deeper into something he couldn't name. A voice cracked over the comm in his ear, distorted, thin. "Barry, damn it, you're phasing too far. Pull back." Cisco's panic carried even through the static. Barry could barely form words with the air shredding past his face. I can't. It's pulling me through." "You can stop." Caitlin's voice cut in, steadier though strained. "Barry, listen to me. Anchor yourself. Find the vibration of our Earth. Match it." He wanted to. God, he wanted to. But the walls of the multiverse had already begun thinning around him, dissolving like glass held too long over fire. He could feel other worlds bleeding against his skin, tiny bursts of heat and cold, whispers and languages he didn't recognize brushing against his ears. His body vibrated harder than ever before. Sparks, red, white, violet, leapt from his fingertips. They didn't fade. They hung in the air behind him like cracks. Barry's thoughts twisted around fear. This isn't running anymore. This is falling. I'm falling through everything. He gritted his teeth. I can see them. His own voice sounded hollow, echoing in ways that made no sense. Other Earths. I got Barry. Cisco's voice cracked like it was ripping apart too. "Stop. You'll lose your tether." He blinked and the universe changed. For half a heartbeat, he stood in a city half lit by green suns, towers spiraling like roots reaching for the sky. People without faces turned toward him, their forms flickering as though they were deciding what they should look like. His stomach clenched. Then he blinked again and they were gone. Another step, another world. Oceans boiling, thunder so low it rattled his bones. Then again, an endless desert, but the sand was made of shards that sliced the air like knives. He couldn't catch his breath, couldn't stop his legs, couldn't make sense of the sights pounding into his skull with every stride. What's happening to me? Barry looked down. His hands weren't solid anymore. The fingers stretched like light through water, lines of crimson energy tracing veins that weren't veins at all. He stumbled, gasping. Barry. It was Iris this time. Her voice cut through the noise, quiet, pleading. Please, I need you to come home. Home. The word stabbed deeper than anything else. He tried to focus, to picture her face, the curve of her smile. For a moment he thought it worked. The rushing slowed, the colors steadied. But then a force like a tidal wave slammed through him, dragging him forward. His scream tore away in his silence. It doesn't want me to stop. The speed force wasn't just guiding him anymore. It was claiming him. The world around him collapsed into a vast black plain. No stars, no sound, just Barry, his body glowing faintly, every vein lit like circuitry. The silence pressed down until he thought he'd suffocate. His voice came out ragged. Cisco, Caitlin, anyone, static. Then nothing. A ripple moved across the black, like someone dragging their hand through still water. Shapes rose from it. Silhouettes of people, hundreds of them. They had no detail, just outlines glowing faint white. Barry froze, chest tight. One of them stepped forward. The shape bent its head like it was studying him. Barry whispered, "What are you?" When it spoke, it wasn't sound. It was pressure inside his skull. Not what. When. Barry staggered backward, breath catching. His calves buzzed with energy, aching to run, but he forced himself still. I need to get back. I need to go home. The thing tilted its head. You left home behind the moment you ran this far. The multiverse is not a road. It is a tide, and you're already dissolving in it. Barry's chest tightened. He looked at his arm, flesh peeling into light. Every heartbeat stretched longer, slower, like time itself had started breaking apart. I'm not, he stopped. His throat burned. I'm not leaving them. I'll find a way back. The figure's shape flickered, shifting taller, broader, narrower, like it was cycling through forms stolen from universes Barry had only brushed against. You cannot run back. Only forward. But forward is not human. The others began to move, their silent bodies circling him, watching. Barry's mind raced, panic clawing at his ribs. I can't lose myself here. I have to fight it. I have to find the vibration, find Earth Prime. He closed his eyes, forcing himself to hear past the silence. To feel. Somewhere, buried under the static, Iris's voice lingered in memory. Warm. Clear. Barry. Come home. His throat tightened. He reached for it. Reached with everything he had left. The air shattered. A hole tore open in front of him, a jagged window of light. Through it, he glimpsed SDR Labs, Cisco standing at the console, hands flying. Caitlin gripping the edge, her face pale, desperate. Barry's heart surged. Iris, he yelled, voice breaking. I can see you. Her face appeared, blurred, ghosted. She pressed her hand to the breach. Barry, hold on. The energy in his veins flared white-hot. He lunged, every muscle screaming as he fought against the tide of shadows. The figures surged, reaching for him. Their touch burned cold, like gravity pulling from every direction. Cisco shouted, voice broken through the breach. If we pull him too hard, we risk tearing half the timeline with him. Caitlin's voice snapped back. Then don't. We can't gamble billions of lives. I don't care. Iris screamed. Her voice was raw, shaking. He's my husband. Barry reached, arms stretched, his hand almost touching hers through the crack of light. His own fingers flickered, breaking apart into streams of energy. The figures pressed closer. The pressure in his skull rose until he thought it would split open. Forward is not human. Barry's mind reeled. He wasn't sure if he was running anymore or simply unraveling. The breach pulsed, weakening, seconds from collapse. He gasped, voice shredded. Iris. The light snapped shut. Barry was alone again. The shadows stood in silence, endless, patient, watching. Barry's chest heaved. His legs shook with the need to run, but his body felt less and less like his own. His skin was gone now, stripped away into pure light. His thoughts blurred at the edges. He whispered into the dark, I'm not ready to stop being human. The silence didn't answer, but the tide pulled him forward anyway. Barry ran, not because he wanted to, but because the multiverse demanded it. Every cell of his body vibrated like a trapped star, every heartbeat echoing like thunder across the void. He tried to slow down, to stop, but his legs blurred against nothing, pulling him forward through darkness. The silhouettes followed, silent, patient, flickering into new shapes with each blink. They weren't chasing. They were waiting. Barry's chest burned with the thought of Iris's hands slipping from his. That split second replayed again and again. The breach closing, her scream cut off. I'm losing her. I'm losing everything. A ripple cut across the black plane. A voice pressed into his skull, cold and unrelenting. Forward, Barry Allen. You cannot turn back. You cannot remain. He shouted into the dark, voice cracking. I'm not leaving my world behind. You hear me? I'm not. The void answered with silence. Then another ripple. This one sharper, tearing open a jagged slit of light. He stumbled toward it, heart slamming against his ribs. For a second, he thought it was another breach. Maybe Cisco, maybe Iris. But no, this wasn't home. He peered through. A city sprawled beneath a sky split by cracks of burning red lightning. People screamed as buildings folded inward like paper, their bodies stretching into ribbons of light. The smell of ozone and ash poured through the opening. Barry staggered back, throat tight. God, another Earth falling apart. The slit sealed itself, leaving only blackness. His hands trembled. They weren't hands anymore, just shapes of energy clinging to memory. His fingers flickered like a dying bulb. Barry whispered, I'm not ready for this. Back in SDR Labs, Cisco's voice cut through static in Barry's ear again, thin and unstable. "Barry, we still got a lock on you, man. But your signature's it's not solid anymore." Barry gasped, relief and terror colliding. "Cisco, I saw Iris. You almost had me." "I know." Cisco's voice cracked. "We tried to widen the breach, but Caitlin." I said no. Caitlin interrupted, sharp, decisive. "Barry, listen to me. If we force this again, we could fracture the timeline. Not just here, across everything. Billions of lives." Barry pressed a shaking hand against his chest, though it passed straight through. He couldn't feel his heartbeat anymore. Just vibration. Endless vibration. Then what the hell am I supposed to do? Silence. Then Iris's voice, raw and trembling. "Find a way back, Barry. Please. I don't care how. Just don't let go." Her voice was a knife twisting between ribs he wasn't sure he still had. He closed his eyes, focused on her, on Joe, on every laugh, every memory tethering him to humanity. And for a moment, the void bent. A thin line of gold light shimmered beneath his feet, stretching forward like a path. His pulse, if it was still his, kicked harder. "I see something," he whispered. Away home, the silhouettes stirred. Dozens became hundreds, their bodies swaying like reeds under unseen wind. They pressed closer, outlines rippling in jagged, monstrous forms. One leaned forward, taller than the rest. Its face split, revealing nothing but darkness inside. "You cannot return. The tide has taken you. To step backward is to tear worlds apart." Barry's throat tightened. He shouted, "I don't care. I won't give you my life." The figure raised a shifting hand. "Not your life. Your shape." A shudder ripped through him. His body fractured into streams of lightning, arcs crackling across the plain. He dropped to his knees, screaming as every memory flashed like shards. His mother's voice, his father's hands, Iris's smile, splintering, scattering. He fought to pull them back, to hold himself together. "I'm Barry Allen. I'm the Flash. You can't take that from me." The ground split open. No, reality split. A fissure tore through the void, light bursting from it like blood from a wound. And on the other side, SDR Labs again, Cisco, hands shaking over the console. Caitlin bracing Iris, who leaned so far toward the breach her knuckles went white. Iris screamed, "Barry, run to me." The words slammed into him like thunder. His legs moved before his mind caught up. Lightning trailed behind him, golden red arcs slicing across the black. The silhouettes lunged, hands outstretched, grasping, clawing, fingers of static tearing pieces from his body. He ran anyway, faster than fear, faster than pain, faster than anything human. Cisco shouted, "If he hits the breach at that vibration, oh God, it'll destabilize everything." "Do it." Iris's voice cut like fire. "Open it wider." "No." Caitlin's voice broke, shaking now. "Barry, if you force this, if you pull yourself back, you'll tear us all apart." Barry's vision blurred. The breach loomed ahead, so close, Iris's hand reaching again, trembling with desperation. His body cracked apart, lightning shedding like flesh. His voice shattered into the calm. I don't want to lose you." Tears ran down Iris's face, her palm pressed flat to the breach. "Then come home." Every instinct screamed to obey. But behind him, the silhouettes surged in unison, their thought pressing into his skull. Forward is not human. Barry faltered, legs shaking, mind tearing between choices. To leap through meant risking all existence. To stay meant dissolving forever. Cisco's broken whisper, "Barry, choose." The moment stretched like eternity. The breach flickered. Iris's hand blurred. The silhouettes closed in. Barry's thoughts finally stilled. "If I go home, I could destroy it. If I stay, at least they'll be safe." His chest tightened with something deeper than fear. "Love." He smiled, though his face was only light now. "I'll always love you, Iris." Her scream ripped through him. "No, don't you dare." Barry turned away and ran forward. The silhouettes parted like a tide, their shapes bowing, accepting. His body stretched into blinding energy, his voice vanishing into silence. His last thought, clear, calm, echoed into nothing. I am more than human now. The breach slammed shut. In SDR labs, Iris collapsed, screaming his name in a static. And in the endless void, where time and matter flowed like rivers, Barry Allen, once the Flash, became something the multiverse itself would remember forever. Not a man, not a hero, a being of light, running without end.